Are we all mining resources wrong in Stormgate? The answer to that might be a bit more complicated than you think. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Apoptosis808, back with my Impat with another Stormgate instructional video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the resources in Stormgate, predominantly Luminite and Therium. You could argue that the top bar energy for each of the races is another resource, and supply is a resource, but we'll cover those in another video. Today, we're just interested in the two big ones that are going to help you make units, Luminite and Therium. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to check out my other Stormgate YouTube videos, and if you like those, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And check me out, I'm streaming live on Twitch. I'm actually recording this video live on Twitch now for people to see how I do this YouTube content sort of stuff. So come stop by and say hello. All right, so there's a lot of information here, but I have my handy notes, so we'll make it through. I'll break this information down into two parts, Luminite and Therium. But first, let's start with Luminite, as there's a bit less to explain. Currently, there's only one type of Luminite mine in Stormgate. There's no rich Luminite mines or anything like that. They all have a maximum of 8,000 Luminite that you can mine off of them, after which time they despawn and disappear. Your workers then will sit idle and do nothing, and you get that little idle worker button. Each trip for Infernal and Vanguard gives you 4 Luminite, and for Celestials, you get 5 per trip. Shrines and command posts have to be built a minimum of 5 units away horizontally. Horizontally building the structure will give you the peak efficiency for your mine, which caps out at about 12 workers for Infernal and Vanguard, and 4 prisms plus a collection array for Celestials. This means if you make workers as quickly as possible and stay mining 12 out of 12 for Infernal, you mine out your main at approximately 13 minutes and 20 seconds. For Celestials, this is about 14 minutes and 5 seconds, and for Vanguard, it's 13:35. For Infernal and Vanguard, a 12 out of 12 Luminite mine will gather roughly 620 Luminite a minute, and an array plus 4 prisms for Celestials gathers about 590 a minute. There's also a feature that we call mineral walking in the game, which means if you click a worker to a resource, either Luminite or Therium, it'll be able to path through units to get there, but not over structures or terrain. One last thing to note is that you are hard capped to 12 workers for Vanguard and Infernal, and capped to 4 prisms for Celestials. This means that any workers beyond 12 or the 4 prisms will be completely wasted. Even if you have a second shrine nearby, you're not going to get any further efficiency from that mine past 12. All right, that's Luminite out of the way. Let's talk about Therium. Therium as a resource works quite a bit differently in Stormgate, as Therium node starts with 0 patches and slowly builds up over time. A Therium node will spawn a patch about every 8 seconds, and each new Therium patch will have 25 total Therium on it. It takes approximately 10 seconds for a Vanguard and an Infernal worker to mine 5 Therium, and 20 seconds for a Prism to mine 25 Therium. These numbers aren't exact, as it depends on exactly how far away from each patch the worker is mining compared to the drop-off point, but it does seem Celestials is better at mining Therium than the other two factions, but worse at mining Luminite by quite a bit. Therium has a few other quirks as well. So remember how I said a new Therium patch is created every 8 seconds? This caps out at 30 patches for your regular Therium. There does seem to be some like solo Therium, like on Boneyard, that will go past that limit. But for the most part, 30 is going to be the hard cap for how many patches the Therium node will have, which means a full Therium node has a maximum of 750 Therium at it waiting for you to mine before a new patch will fill in the old ones. When it's capped out, every 8 seconds after will enrich one of the patches, which you can see by it turning a green glow. These patches mine twice as quickly, so there's not more Therium there, but you do gather Therium not quite twice as fast, but a lot faster. It takes 4 minutes for an untouched Therium node to completely fill, and then another 4 minutes for it to fully enrich. But the fun doesn't stop there. After a Therium node is fully enriched, so that's all 30 patches have spawned and all 30 patches have enriched, it will start to enrich future patches there, which means that even if you're not mining a Therium base for quite a while, you're not losing out on efficiency, since it's actually going to be enriching those future patches. The way that this looks in the game is essentially when a fully enriched Therium node is mined and a new patch spawns. That patch spawns already enriched. For all the math here, it takes a Therium node about 18 minutes to fully enrich every patch from the start of the game to the maximum amount of future patches, assuming you haven't mined any. So this makes Therium actually a lot more sophisticated of a resource to think about than I think people are giving it credit for. You could technically send 30 workers to a full Therium node and you won't lose any efficiency at all until those patches are mined out, in which case all 30 workers are going to now sit and just fight over trying to mine that new single patch that spawns every 8 seconds. So I think this does have some interesting implications on the game. Think about this scenario. Let's say you're starting a game out, you have your one base and you start mining Therium, you start kind of dwindling down those patches, and some time passes and you're ready to expand to your natural or maybe even to your third base. I think it's actually more effective for you to move your workers from your main to the newest Therium patch that you haven't mined yet. And the reason for this is because not only is it going to have more patches available, which means you can put more workers at it for longer, but also those patches have a chance to enrich, which means you're actually going to be mining Therium faster. And especially if it's after 8 minutes, you're going to have future patches that are enriched, which means you're going to be mining faster for longer. It's a little bit complicated to think about, and I'm not actually really sure if this is good to do, but I think it's interesting to say the least. Is this good enough, do you think, to start actually pulling workers from base to base, just bringing them to the newest enriched patch and letting those previous bases fill back up and enrich again? I'm not quite sure, but I think it does offer some interesting playstyles and some efficiencies if it does in fact turn out to be more effective to mine Therium this way in the future. You're going to have to kind of play this micro game of moving like 10 or 15 workers around from patch to patch to patch, just trying to like mine Therium as efficiently as possible. So you're playing this like constant juggling act. I don't know. I think there's still a lot of math there to be tested. But again, I think it's super interesting to think about. And in my head, it seems to make a lot of sense as, again, these enriched patches mine out twice as quickly almost. So you're going to be getting a lot more Therium a lot faster. That's all I have for you guys today. And as always, if this was helpful, let me know down below and make sure you like the video so that I know especially that you've been enjoying the Stormgate content. I'll see you guys on the ladder. I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope this is helpful for you. Good luck, have fun.